Welcome everyone to the fifth session of the New South Wales Volleyball Referees Association online referee training series being held on Mondays and Thursdays during the month of August 2025. Purpose of this series is to be able to focus on refereeing topics and techniques that we believe would benefit referees of all levels, whether those just starting out to those preparing for AYVC or other national events. We've heard from a variety of highly experienced referees in New South Wales, and we continue today with Justin Lai, who's presenting on being ready for nationals. Justin is a level 3 referee and is also a New South Wales VRA board director. He obtained level 2 associate in April 2023, and just 1 month later obtained level 2 state. And then a year later, his immense contributions resulted in being awarded the 2024 New South Wales VRA Referee of the Year. Shortly after that, he attended AYVC 2024 and obtained level 3. Justin defines the word fast in fast track. So over to you, Justin. But before we begin, if everyone can just type the names in the chat, and just the usual disclaimer that your session will be recorded and potentially uploaded for everyone to see. So thank you.
Over to me, Sam?
Yes, please.
Okay. Just wanted to say welcome, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. So the main thing of this session today is to prepare for nationals. So this session is about making sure you feel prepared, confident, and ready to shine once you get into that national stage. To start off, we're just going to do a little recap because this PowerPoint here sort of builds on from the previous sessions. So we've already heard from Keith regarding player management, which really focused on strategies for keeping control, respect, and fairness on court. Officiating teamwork by Sam highlights the importance of strong communication and collaboration with the referee team. Perfecting protocol by Amanda refines our understanding of court procedures and professional presentation. And finally, just the previous one a couple of days ago by Rachel, preparation tips and tricks. Shared practical advice on being mentally, physically, and logistically prepared. So these sessions gave us the building blocks. Now we're going to pull it all together to this one little framework that I sort of invented myself. So everyone is ready fully for nationals. Before we get there, so the challenge ahead. So we're going to look at the scale of the competition. So the Youth National Champions obviously houses the best junior athletes. It's a massive stage. Knowing that refereeing is more than just calling the rules. It's about presence, consistency, and professionalism. So ask yourself, how do we prepare this appropriately? What kind of preparation is needed? And what separates a good referee from a great one at a national event? How I put it is something like this. I sort of copied Amanda a bit with the 5 Ws. Sort of made it out with the 5 Fs framework. This is just a little overview on the topics we're going to cover in this framework that I made based on my experience and also other people's experience at nationals. So the 5 Fs is basically pretty straightforward. It's familiarity, focus, flow, formality, and feedback. So it comes all together. You'll sort of get it once we get towards the end of this framework. So we're going to start off straight off the bat with familiarity. It's quite important to prepare. When we go to national events, we need to make sure we're venue aware. We need to know all match venues, layouts, even court markings, seatings, warm-up areas. We're just going to make sure we understand and visualize all this before heading to the venue. The competition environment, familiarize yourself with the tournament schedule, number of courts, match formats, team rotations, all of that sort of stuff that we covered up in the previous slides. Surrounding and logistics, that's mainly covered by VA. Scorer's table, first aid, officials room, restrooms, and team benches. We just got to familiarize ourselves with all of these aspects when going to nationals. People and roles, quite important that we recognize who's the tournament staff, fellow referees, scorers, line judges, who you're working with. Understand the communication channels for reporting issues or seeking assistance. So there's going to be a couple of questions when we go through all the slides in the 5S framework. Use that to reflect on how you see, like, how do I say it? Just think about this question that I have on the slides there, and then just reflect on it. We'll get to it towards the end when we do the Q&A, but just have a look at the questions, think about it, and reflect on it. So on how to prepare for familiarity is review past tournament experiences, maps, and match assignments pretty much. If possible, visit the venue beforehand. Generally, if you're going to a national event, they would organize a couple of days before. You'll have a little tour, and also, like, obviously you'll visit the courts because this time it's in Perth. So most of the time it will be everyone's first time in Perth, unless you're from Perth. The courts may be very different to what it was in Bendigo. And so basically this framework here, familiarity reduces pretty much stress, increases confidence, and allows you to focus fully on the game rather than worrying about like things like logistics and all that. There's something I did pull up. We'll just go to the question first, sorry. So just a little self-reflection for those that are in here at the moment. How well do you know the venue before your very first whistle? Not much of us would know what Perth is like until we get there. So a little case study that I looked at is like a referee missed their call time because they didn't realize the venue had multiple halls. It does happen. Lesson is obviously when you get there before day one, you usually get there before the venue starts. Have a walk through the venue, look for the signages, know your court before you get there. So moving forward, the same topic here. For AYVC in particular, this national event that we're focusing on, there are 3 venues being used. So if you do refer to the website, do a bit of research, there are 3 venues. So I think Bendat, the netball, and the Golden Basketball Stadium, if I'm right. Sorry, correct me if I'm wrong.
Justin,
Yep.
The Bendat one is 2 sides to it, but if you go through the main door, it's only one main entrance, and you go to their left, and there's just all like basketball courts set up. 4, I think, or I think we're using 4, and the other 2 is a stadium one where you've got one side seating, and there's probably 2 courts in there. Gold is one venue, one entrance, one exit.
Oh, thanks for that.
Really easy. They're very simple venues.
That's good. So that's a lot of help for all the referees traveling there coming up. Also familiarizing with that indoor handbook from VA. I think this year VA has integrated it all together. So all the 4 national events is in this indoor handbook. So I would recommend if you haven't seen the handbook, to go onto the VA website or go into one of the events. The handbook is the same for the club champs, youth champs, junior champs. Also, the rules, also review everything in that handbook to prepare yourself, because it's slightly different to the state rules. For example, the designation of liberos. I understand in the lower division, you can change your liberos every set. This is something I did pick up from the handbook. Whereas if you do have a look, the liberos, once you dedicate the liberos at the start, they must be the same liberos for the whole entire match. Net heights, something that I would look at, because different age categories, especially in AYVC, they do vary a lot. Yeah, I think that's it for that slide. So basically, just to sum it up with this first framework, guys, familiarity Means doing the homework, pretty much knowing the venues, understand that event-specific rules, and double-check the small details. When you're prepared, you would walk into that match with confidence. Any questions before we move on to the next slide, anyone? Okay, we'll go to the next one. So next slide of the framework is focus. So pretty much the key points here, guys, with focus is the clarity of purpose. Know your role as a referee and what is expected at a national level tournament. Understand the specific rules, competition structures, and any local variation. For example, the libero at the national events may vary to the state leagues. Mental preparation, one of the biggest topics actually, when you visualize match situations and decision-making scenarios. Develop strategies for staying calm under pressure and maintaining concentration for long periods. Task-oriented mindset. Prioritize focus on the match in front of you rather than the distractions around you. Break down responsibilities, officiating, communication, positioning, signaling, and timing. Being consistent and accuracy. Aim to make consistent calls and maintain fairness throughout every match. Regularly check alignment with officials for official guideline and referee signals. Self-awareness, something that falls under this focus framework. Just recognize signs of fatigue or mental drift and implement quick recovery strategies, such as it is hard to, if it's your first time to a national event, it is daunting, especially when you have like a very big crowd or an entire state that's cheering on a team to win. And you don't want to obviously make mistakes when you're refereeing. So taking deep breaths, micro breaths between points. And one of the biggest things at national events is remaining hydrated. Most of the times we're working quite a lot, so staying hydrated is one of the things that we need to do to remain focused. In order to prepare for focus is review team sheets, match schedules, court assignments ahead of time. Familiarize yourself with venue layouts, scoring systems, obviously any technology used. So focus is pretty much about being present, precise, and proactive. The stronger you focus, pretty much the smoother the flow of the match and the more confident you feel as a referee. So just a quick question. When emotions run high on court, just think about who sets the tone, players or the referee. It's something for you guys to think about if you for this focus topic. Referees pretty much stay calm with frustrated players, match settled smoothly. So that's one of the case studies that we do have, and it does apply in like pretty much most of the national events. Moving forward, so we're going on to the third framework. It's called flow. So preparing for national, why does flow actually matter at not just AYVC, but pretty much for all national events? National matches run on tight schedules. So pretty much how I see it is smooth officiating avoids unnecessary delay. Teams, coaches, and spectators expect professional tempo and consistency. Referees who manage flow helps VA keeps the tournament on time and stress-free. So the key preparation for having flow in this framework is to arrive early to your assigned venue. So generally, most of the times you're allocated, just say, for example, to a 1 p.m. match, you would want to come at least 30 minutes prior to that match to check equipment, scorer table, buzzers, and match balls. So that's one of the key preparation points. Understand venue differences, as I think Renee mentioned in Perth, the door entry, the 3 different venues might have slight logistical variances. So just adjust your rhythm just to adapt into all 3 different venues. Officiating, like be consistent when also authorizing your serve. Steady, professional pace sets the tone for players. Communicate with your team. This is like pretty much what Amanda has mentioned in the pre-match protocol, to your second referee, scorers, line judges, to keep transitions smooth. Also, anticipation in flow is very important. So we want to anticipate delays, possibly any possible delays during officiating, libero replacements, net height changes, substitutions, and manage them without breaking rhythm. So just one of the, I don't know if many of you have noticed how the best games feel effortless. Just think about why is that? How does games feel effortless? So one of the case studies I looked at when I was at nationals, or I have experienced myself, inconsistent authorization of serve caused frustration and slowed games, putting the schedule under pressure. So after feedback, referees adopted a consistent pre-serve rhythm, check scorers' readiness every time. The change created a smoother flow, reduced complaints, and kept matches running on time. So it's something you have to learn and do many times to have like a flow or a rhythm sort of thing. So something we all could look at is like, if your match starts falling behind schedule, just think about how can you as a referee help the game flow without rushing. So that's a question to have in your mind. What could you do? So mainly my key points here in this framework is to anticipate game situations. Just mainly being proactive. It's one of the things that is really important when to have a good game flow. Not just just in game flow. Sorry. Moving forward, we're gonna discuss about the next framework that I have looked at. Formality. So we need to know, why is formality important at national events? So AYVC, ACVC, all the same. Players, coaches, and spectators are watching. So we got to think about it this way. And referees represent both their state and Volleyball Australia. Professionalism in appearance, posture, and protocol builds credibility and respect before you blow that first whistle. Consistency in procedure helps keep matches fair, standardized, and in line with international expectations. So the key preparation for formality here, in my opinion, uniform and appearance, very important. Just make sure you arrive in the correct referee uniform. You got to be neat and presentable. I believe first impression really counts, particularly when you're at a national event. New faces, coaches from different states, they would have met you as a first time as a referee. We want to be as presentable, give a good first impression. It will make your entire tournament flow much easier. Your body language and posture. Make sure you stand tall, make signals confidently, and maintain composure at all times. Protocol consistency, something Amanda did reinforce many times in her slides, that make sure you review the guidelines, particularly if you're going to AYVC. The guidelines might be different to different national comps. Just make sure, like, for example, the libero rules, warm-up timings, the net height checks, and also respecting action. Small gestures when you're officiating, I believe, acknowledging the line judges, addressing captains politely. Something I did learn when I was at AYVC it's best to introduce yourself during the pre-match protocol. So preparing the game, like that, introduce your name, you get to know the captain's name. Calling them by their name, it's more respectable. So, and it also shows authority without arrogance. So being formal. So one of the examples I wanted to show you, mention to you guys when at AYVC. So a referee slouch posture. We see that quite a lot. And casual signaling led a coach to question the credibility. So obviously hand signals is one of the key topics when officiating. So if you have sloppy hand signal, you slouch on the stands, a coach probably thinks you're not a good ref. So in order to counter that, another referee, so the coach had a different referee on the same day. The signals were great, professional posture, very presentable. So immediately in this way, just presenting yourself in that way and preparing appropriately commanded respect and had no sideline challenges. So formality influenced authority. So a question for this slide, guys, it's how much of your authority comes from the whistle and how much comes from the way you represent yourself? That's something for you guys to take out of this framework. And moving on to the last slide, which is, you'll see quite a lot, feedback. So why does feedback actually matter? So in order to prepare appropriately for nationals, we need to know why. So feedback matters because nationals bring together referees from across Australia. It's a rare chance to learn from diverse experiences. So a New South Wales referee may differ from other referees. So we need to learn from different kind of referees to make your own. Feedback also helps you identify blind spots that you may not notice yourself. Constructive feedback improves not just your performance at AYVC, but also your refereeing career long term. So a few key preparation points for feedback is this is how from my experience, one of the thing is be open-minded. Not all feedback will feel comfortable, but it's an opportunity to grow. Differentiate feedback. There is times when you get feedbacks from different supervisors that might contradict each other, but some advice is essential, especially rules and protocols. You definitely need to take those on board, but some is perspective. There is two types, style and presence. Depends how you take it and how you take it on board. And my next point would be applying it quickly. When you get feedback, make sure you use it between your matches or between different days. Small adjustments can make a big impact. Self-reflection as well. So after the games, just ask yourself, what went well or what could I improve on? You'll get that a lot. So your referee supervisors, mentors at AYVC will have post-match debriefs, peer review, be open, honest, and transparent on how you're feeling. It's Sam mentioned in his slides, refereeing is teamwork. So it's good to always have reviews, different opinions, and then work on that because there's always ways or things to learn. Even for me now, there is always stuff to learn. And then peer-to-peer sharing is quite important. But main thing is giving feedback respectfully to your colleagues. It strengthens the whole refereeing team overall. So there is one little case study that I remembered. So a young referee received feedback about rushing signals. It confused players. So by the next game, they consciously slowed their gestures, and both captains commented positively on the clearer communication. So a small adjustment through feedback improved match control significantly. So this one here. So do you guys see feedback as criticism or as a tool to get better for the next whistle? That's something you guys can reflect on. And finally, moving forward, so we went through the 5 frameworks from familiarity, focus, flow, formality, and feedback. So just use preparation, teamwork, and professionalism to deliver your best at AYVC. Honestly, guys, nationals can be very intense, but also it should also be very enjoyable. Something that I learned through multiple times going to a national event. Just relax, smile, and remember why you love refereeing. The main thing I love refereeing, it's the other 2 Fs. Pretty much having fun, guys. Like, forget the drama. It's a privilege to actually be at a national event. So pretty much enjoy the games, the atmosphere, the experience, and also one of the things we should all really enjoy is making friends. You know, building your community. The people I met through national events became lifelong friends, mentors, or I've ref with other referees from different states. That's the most amazing experience for doing a national event. So make sure we support each other on and off the court, because the best referees are never alone. So just ask yourself, guys, like at the end of the week, what will you remember more? The score lines or the friendships? So that's how I think of it. Let's go to the next one. Sorry. All right, just a little closing statement. So we prepare with familiarity, focus, flow, formality, and feedback. But remember, nationals is also about having fun, making friends, and at the end of the week, it won't be just the games you remember, but the laughter, the moments shared, and the friendships built along the way. So just closing up, guys. So when you walk into AYVC, will you simply officiate matches, or will you raise the standard of refereeing? I think that's it, Sam.
Yeah, thanks, Justin. That was really good. Going into a next session on the letter G. I've never seen so many words for F, but they're all very pertinent and very great points. And it's a very interesting framework. I like your points, especially around formality and then fun and friends, because at the end of the day, I think that applies not just at nationals, it applies when you go referee at state, it applies on international trips, it implies your social league. It's all very important, so it's good. Any questions or things people want to raise on the presentation or topics in general? Happy to fill them now. George?
Hello, everyone, and thank you, Justin. Very nice presentation. The only point I'd like to share with everyone is we always say about the players and the coaches and the teams accepting the referee's mistakes, because we all make mistakes, or we miss something, or we hesitate to call something. Sometimes we know something should be called. For one reason or the other, we just don't do it. So there's always a call to accept the odd mistake. I'd say accept your own mistake. We need to accept it first ourselves before we ask others to accept it. Accept our mistakes, because this is the only way we can move on. How often each one of us gets stuck in a rally that, oh, I wish I did this, I wish I called that, and we miss other stuff coming up. So just a little thing there to think about. And yeah, thank you so much, and good luck to everyone.
Any other questions before? All right, Sam.
Yep, no worries. Yeah, we've got 3 more sessions left. Thursday, Monday, Thursday. Aaron, George, Jaden will be presenting on those. So hopefully you can all join, and they will be just as insightful and helpful as the last 5 have been. But yeah, thank you all for joining tonight, and hope everyone has a great Thursday evening, weekend. We have SPL finals in New South Wales this weekend on Sunday, so it'll be a big day for everyone. Practice for getting ready for nationals. We can definitely apply all these concepts to finals day as well as AYVC too. So thank you, Justin. Please join me in thanking Justin for today, and yeah, see you all at the next one.
All right, have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
Good work, Justin.
Thank you.
Nice work.
Thank you, Justin. Thank you.
Thank you.